Ashley and Jordan. Since May of 2019, we've been traveling the world on a mission to keep going places. Rounding out our North Island road trip, we explore more of New Zealand's incredible outdoors at Huka Falls, the Blue Spring, and finally, a glowworm cave. Good morning! We are out on the road again here in the North Island of New Zealand. This morning we left Rotorua, and if you haven't checked out that video, we will link it below. We got up to a little whitewater rafting, took a tumble. It was all very exciting.
It was so much fun.
Highly recommend you check that out. But today we are on our way to Taupo, and on the way there is the gorgeous Huka Falls. So that is what we're going to start our day with today.
Yep, we're on the trail right now, just by the parking lot. By the way, parking is free here. I think it's like 30 minutes, and Huka Falls is right by the parking lot. So we're about to walk over and check that out for about 15 to 20 minutes. And then we're gonna head into Taupo, grab some lunch to prepare to go stand up paddleboarding on Lake Taupo and see some Maori rock carvings.
First impressions of Huka Falls, the color. It's so beautiful, milky blue. Like, I could just stand there and watch the rushing blue forever and ever. It's awesome, it's beautiful. We're just gonna kind of walk up and down along it to get a view from the top of it, get a view from the bottom of it, before hopping back in the car. Let's go see. Jordan kept saying, I want to raft it, I want to raft it. He's feeling like a big guy after yesterday's adventure, and we got to the end and I said, you want to raft over that? No, you don't. Maybe in like a barrel with air, and you could just go and float back. Time to head on.
What is that?
It's my phone playing the podcast. I was like, what is this voice?
Who else is in this car?
Anyway.
All right, we are leaving Huka Falls. Fun fact, we learned that every second, 200,000 liters of water fall over the edge of the waterfall. That's enough to fill 5 Olympic-sized swimming pools every minute. A lot of water. Crazy. I mostly just love it for the beautiful blue, just kind of mesmerizing to watch. But anyway, great stop, super easy, especially if you maybe have limited mobility, super easy to access. Yep, there's even a flat path to it, to the bridge, so even if you're in a wheelchair, I think you'd be just fine. Let's go. Okay, so that was a surprisingly delicious lunch. We kind of judged a book by a cover, and we weren't sure about that cafe, but we both ordered the roasted pumpkin. It's delicious. Highly recommend that particular dish. Anyway, now it's time to head on. We're gonna go do some stand-up paddleboarding. I'm really excited about that because that was kind of one of the things that I really wanted to do while we're here. So let's go. Well, big old bummer, you guys. First we get here, and then we see that our friends from the rafting adventure yesterday were here, and we said hello, and they had just gotten back from the activity we wanted to do, and were saying how rough the waters were. And we were like, well, dang, I guess we can't paddleboard, we'll just kayak, because they're obviously a lot more stable. Then we go up to get the kayak, and they say, oh no, we can't send any more kayaks out there today. The waters are too rough. Too rough.
Sad. And then we get in the car and it's now raining, which was not in the forecast at all. It's raining pretty hard, I feel like.
Oh my gosh, you can't even see the mountain anymore.
No, it's gray, which
completely
is
cloudy.
For the best. Nobody wants to be caught out on a kayak in this now.
No.
So all that to say, we're gonna go check into our Airbnb, put our stuff down, and get on the internet and see if maybe we can figure something else out for the afternoon. If we don't get to go, we will insert a photo of the carvings that we were gonna go paddle out to. It's a pretty good paddle out. It's like an hour and a half each way, but they are beautiful Maori carvings in the stone there on the cliff. So beautiful. If you're here, you have to check that out. So hopefully we will get to, but if we don't, at least you know what we were after. Let's go check in, huh? Okay, so we've gotten all checked in and we have made a decision. We are gonna head over to the hot pools nearby. I think it's less than a 10-minute drive from here, which is very close to Huka Falls actually. And there's like a natural little hot spring, hot pool area where you can just kind of sit and have a soak. And you know, after all the physical activity and kayaking and rafting that we've been doing, a soak sounds nice. So, let's go.
All right, we made it to the Spa Thermal Park, and parking here is free until 8 p.m. And we're going to the Waitomo Heke stream, which is where you can actually get in to the thermal hot springs here.
Yeah, it should be cool. It's pretty easy. Park the car, walk down the sidewalk, and I think at the end will be some hot springs.
Yep, and the weather cleared up, so cross our fingers.
It's not raining.
It didn't pour down on us. Right on my shoulders.
Okay, so we are back in the car after a very brief visit to the hot springs. I think both of us felt it was slightly underwhelming, didn't meet expectations.
Yeah, I did not.
It was very pretty to look at, but the spot itself with the actual hot water or warm water was quite small. I'd say a dozen people could fit in like the real prime spots, and then everybody else is sitting in about 6 inches of like mildly warm water, if not cold water. And it's so, and you're sitting on like a bunch of loose rocks and like algae, so it's just not ideal.
Okay, couple tips. There's free parking here. It's a short walk to the hot spring from the parking. There's like a little stand there that sells some snacks and drinks as well. And also, we found out there's no showers. So bring some towels, prepare to dry off. You'll be dirty on your way home to actually shower. But all in all, I'm glad we came. Didn't meet expectations. That's all right. We have a long, full, fun day planned tomorrow.
Yeah, let's see you in the morning. All right. Morning. It is time to hit the road again. We are leaving Taupo today, headed for Raglan. We are almost done with our road trip around the North Island. It's kind of the last leg. So, what's on the docket today, itinerary man?
So today we got about an hour and a half drive to see the Blue Springs, and they're this like bluish green springs that you can walk around on a wooden deck and a trail. So we're gonna go explore that for maybe 30 minutes. And the reason we're gonna stop there, one, is it's supposed to be neat. Two, it's like halfway between Taupo and Raglan. So after that, we got about another hour, hour and a half drive to Raglan. We're gonna grab lunch, check into our Airbnb, and go see a waterfall. Made it here to Putaruru at the Blue Springs, and we parked our car. And come to find out, I think we parked at one of the parking lots that's a lot closer to the Blue Springs, so you don't have to walk as far. Didn't Google Maps like bring us there?
Yeah, we just put in the name of it, Blue Springs Putaruru, and it took us to this spot. And then we were looking at the map before we started the trail, and it's a long trail with kind of the Blue Spring towards the end down here, and we parked down here. So our walk ought to be a lot shorter than if you go to what looks like the main lot. and then I think it's a good half-hour walk from there.
Yep.
So just inadvertently, we ended up with a shorter walk, hopefully. So
Yeah.
this is exciting. It's a nice sort of gravel walkway, probably not great for wheelchairs, but should be easy for anybody who can do a little walk.
Yeah. The scenery is
And-
beautiful around here. A
yeah.
lot of rolling hills
Yeah.
and cows on the hills.
Yeah.
And you have a fun fact about the springs, don't you?
Yeah, I read on the sign that 70% of New Zealand's bottled water comes from this blue spring. So that's kind of fun.
Yeah.
So not like 5 minutes of walking later and we're getting our first glimpses of the blue spring, and it's so pretty. I wasn't really sure if I would think it was that impressive. You know, we've seen a lot of different bodies of water recently, but this one is so cool. It has this super long, like green grass, seaweedy type stuff that is like flowing with the water, and because of the blue and the clarity, it just looks like it's like trapped in glass, you know, like that tempered glass kind of look. I don't know. It just looks like a piece of art down there, and it's so quiet out here. You can hear like trees blowing and lots of birds. I love it. It's great.
Alright, we made it down at the Blue Springs at the walking track, and there's this nice wooden walking track kind of level to the actual spring, so you can get super close to the water. There's these beautiful white butterflies flying around. It's nice and quiet. There's also fish in the water, so you can see them swim around every now and then. It's actually really peaceful, and I'm enjoying it way more than I thought I was going to actually enjoy it. It's like, how much can you actually enjoy just looking at a blue, kind of clear spring? This place is beautiful, y'all. If you're in the area, definitely come check it out.
Well, little nuggets, they're so cute. We're watching the ducks eat, and there they go. So cute. They do head first, and then they flip their little webbed feet to keep them upright, and their cute little butt is hanging out. It's adorable. So cute. Okay, we are back in the car after the Blue Springs here in, what's it called?
Putaruru.
Putaruru. It was wonderful, as you saw.
Yeah, it was
Totally
awesome.
gorgeous. Perfectly great stop. It's free and easy to get to. But now we have to go a little bit out of our way, you guys. But all in the name of democracy.
That's right.
Jordan and I obviously travel all the time, and so we are currently out of country for the U.S. primary elections for the president, electing the new president. So we requested our absentee ballots. They were sent to us here in New Zealand. Jordan's came on time, and we got it no problem, but mine came late. So we're having to backtrack about an hour each way out of our way back to Rotorua to our Airbnb because our host so kindly accepted them for us there. So we're just going to go have lunch there.
Yeah.
And make sure that my voice is heard in our upcoming election. Be sure you cast your ballot as well. It's important.
So we're gonna have lunch in Rotorua, as Ashley said. We'll probably lose about 2 hours on this, and then we'll get into Raglan, check into our Airbnb, and hopefully, I'm pretty sure the waterfall that we want to go see is still going to be open. And so I'm hoping after we check in, we can head straight to Bridal Falls. No, we can head straight to Bridal Veil's waterfall.
Singular. Bridal Veil Falls.
We can head straight to Bridal Veil Falls
Yeah.
waterfall.
Okay, let's get going then. Okay, all the way from back home in Dallas. I have my absentee ballot, and the envelope looks like it had a little adventure.
It does.
A little scuffed up, a little dirty, but that's okay. It made its way to me all the way from home. So now my voice will be heard. And
Now we
that's
can
nice.
both vote.
Yay! Anyway, I'm so hungry.
Yeah, I'm sorry, I'm fading right now.
Let's go eat something.
Mamaku. we randomly came across this Mamaku?
Yeah, Mamaku.
Mamaku blueberry place. Apparently, they have blueberry ice cream, they have blueberry wine, and they have self-proclaimed, I guess, world's best blueberry muffins. So of course we took a detour. We're out here at their farm. We're gonna go in and get some yum yums.
Thank you so much.
Okay, so we stopped here in Mamaku. There's a little town where apparently a lot of blueberries are grown. And we got some Mamaku blueberry ice cream. Real fruit ice cream is a big deal here in New Zealand. They happen to have blueberries, obviously Mamaku blueberries. Didn't even plan it. One of my favorite things we've done. It's so good, it's delicious. They have a nice patio out here. You can look at the blueberry fields out there. Enjoy the wind. Got some blueberry muffins. They have blueberry wine. I recommend do it.
Totally worth the stop. At first I was like, we don't have to, because we had to turn around in the middle of the road. There's a whole thing, but worth it. We have made it to Bridal Falls. We parked in the parking lot. It's free, of course. There's just a handful of spots. And now it's a quick 10-minute walk over to the waterfall, and that's about it, really. It's a beautiful walk, very jungly. Before you get to the falls, you enter like a nature reserve, and the difference in the landscape is immediate because there's tons of farmland around, but as soon as you're in the reserve, obviously they can't turn that into farmland, and the vegetation is completely different. Like, you can tell what everything must normally look like before it was cut down to make way for sheep and cows and things. So it's really interesting, really pretty, and I'm very excited to see the waterfall. So let's go. I thought we were gonna have a roadblock situation. There's a goat in the path. Just hanging out, but he just left.
Let's go see him.
I love it. I feel like we're just like peeping in on it, and I've only seen one other person here because we're here pretty late. It's like 6 p.m. But it's nice, it's quiet, except for the goat. You can just look at the waterfall. So we have finished here at Bridal Falls. What'd you think?
I loved it. It's really impressive. It's not the most powerful waterfall. It's not like a big river going off the end of a cliff. It's a small stream that goes on for a long time, and so it looks like a really long bridal veil. Like, it's actually really cool looking.
The way that the water kind of comes down in these sheets, because there's not that much of it, is a really cool effect. And there's tons of goats. We figured out where the goat came from. There are goats grazing down there everywhere.
There's like 6 of them, I think.
It's really beautiful. And we learned the cool rock formations that you see behind are basalt, just like we saw in Iceland, although these are much smaller, like skinnier columns. But it's the same thing from lava flow, essentially, many, many, many years ago.
So if you're here when the sun's shining on the waterfall, it's really cool looking because every now and then you can see glimpses of rainbows.
Pretty vibrant ones.
Yeah,
they're really pretty.
Neat.
Anyway, that's gonna wrap up our day. We're gonna go check into our Airbnb finally, get some dinner, hang out, Netflix, and chill. But like for real chill.
For real.
Locked and loaded. Let's go. We have about an hour and a half out to the Glowworm cave, so we gotta get to it.
got us some tickets to the Waitomo Glowworm Caves. Fun tip, if you rent a car with Go Rentals, they give you, we've mentioned this, the attractions card for discounted places. I want to say I got a 20% discount here using the Go Play card. So do that. We got the 6 p.m. We gotta wait about 30 minutes, but they have a cafe and restaurant here, so we're gonna go chill, hang out there until our tour starts. All right, we just finished our tour of the Waitomo Glowworm Caves, and it was actually a lot better than I thought it was gonna be.
Oh, it was just what I expected. I expected some magic, and it was so beautiful, y'all. We couldn't film much inside, just at the end, and then honestly, our cameras can't pick up those glowworms.
No.
Just imagine a beautiful, pitch black, dark cave, and you're on a river, and they're not even paddling the boat. They're pulling on ropes, so there's no sound except the dripping of the water. And on the ceiling are just thousands and thousands of blue pinpoints. That's what it looks like, just thousands of them. It's amazing.
It looks like a night sky, like the Milky Way or something. It's pitch black, but blue and some green as well. And you can see the reflection on the water. And so it's above you and below you at times. It's really, really neat.
It's a neat feeling because your depth perception is completely off. You know, you can't see anything except for the little pin dots above you, and then the teeny bit of light that they give off, you can kind of see yourself, you know. But with the reflection and on the water and them, it's just kind of a really surreal feeling. Super fun.
What is a glowworm?
A glowworm is a larvae of a type of fly, akin to a mosquito, they said. And they're larvae for like a long time, like 9 months or something, and then they make a cocoon, and then they eventually turn into a fly. So and
they die after like 5 days, I think, as a fly, because they
of starvation. They can't eat.
Yeah,
like
as adults.
Something about their development, like they don't eat food as adults, and they die. And so basically, their whole thing is to reproduce, which is really interesting.
Yeah, and so the reason they glow is to attract food, like little gnats or flies or sandflies or whatever, and they want to fly towards the light, and then the glowworms essentially catch them and eat them, and so that's why they glow.
Glowworms drop down kind of like a web, but it's mucus, and so when you look at it with light on the ceiling, there's just thousands of strings of mucusy stuff.
Kind of creepy looking.
And then like insects get stuck in there, and then they kind of bring them back up and eat them, and that's how it works. Wow. We're gonna hop back in the car, round out this day.
Got about an hour and a half drive back to Raglan. We're gonna chill, get some dinner. We're gonna chill, get some dinner, and rest, and then we're gonna get out and go kayaking or stand up paddleboarding in the morning.
Yay!
We'll see y'all there.
Okay, see ya. Kayaking was not meant to be here in Raglan. It is, again, windy and cold to boot, so, you know, whatever. We probably could have gone out, but honestly, it just didn't look like ideal conditions, and
we more wanted to stand up paddleboard, not kayak.
We just kept trying to stand up paddleboard, but I don't think paddleboarding on the ocean is just an easy thing to do, because you'd have to be so calm. I'm a little sad about that, but Jordan has promised me one day when we're back in Texas, we'll go out on a lake paddleboarding, so
for sure.
We'll hold him to it. So instead, we're just going to spend our last our last morning in Raglan. We're going to go back over to Raglan Roast. They really did have very good coffee. And just grab a cup and head on to Auckland, where we're just going to spend the night and then head out in the morning, really. So this will wrap up our time in New Zealand and this video. But next,
Southeast Asia.
The land of noodles and cheap things and good food and beautiful beaches and cool people and.
We're super excited if you can't tell.